A government employee designing sewers spent $900 he didn't have.
You can still stay.
A funk pioneer abandoned his signature sound and the label panicked. It became his biggest hit. Madonna auditioned to be a backup dancer and almost never happened.
And don't try to give her that worn out.
At number 1, a song so powerful its creator performed it once, said it scared him, then died 11 days after release.
It's gonna come. Oh, yes it is.
12 tracks that didn't just hit charts, they changed what R&B could be.
Love just like you do. Hey, don't.
Number 12, Flashdance. What a Feeling by Irene Cara.
Wrap around, take a hold of my.
She co-wrote the thing and the label still tried to cheat her out of royalties. That's the part nobody mentions when they celebrate the 6 weeks it spent at number 1. Synthesizers pulse like heartbeats, racing towards something bigger than yourself, while Cara's voice climbs from whisper to declaration. Giorgio Moroder built the track in layers, each one designed to make you feel invincible. Notice how the drums punch in just before she hits that high note. It topped charts globally in 1983, earned her a Grammy, and became one of those rare songs where the movie and the music are inseparable. The controversy came later when she sued and won, proving she'd been systematically underpaid. This was anthemic pop that soundtracked dreams. The kind you heard in the car heading somewhere that mattered. Windows down, volume up. But here's what most overlook. Moroder originally wanted a colder, more electronic sound. Number 11, Use Me by Bill Withers.
Oh, they keep trying to tell me
Most love songs beg or plead. This one shrugs and grins while admitting the whole relationship is toxic. Withers sings about being used with that conversational ease that made everything he touched feel like truth.
Hey, but when I talk was through.
The bass line belches and grooves, the organ swells strategically, and those pauses, the silence between verses, torture you in the best way.
You really do abuse me.
It peaked at number 2 on both pop and R&B charts in 1972, one spot away from matching the supremacy of his previous smash. Producers built it around negative space, letting the groove breathe so you felt every choice. That understated delivery masked the song's actual darkness. Here's a man accepting emotional abuse because the physical connection works. This was music for late nights when you knew better, but stayed anyway.
Until you use me up.
Basement parties where everyone understood exactly what he meant.
I said, brother, if you only knew, you'd wish that.
From that philosophical acceptance, something completely unexpected happened next.
Baby, baby, when you love me, I can't get enough.
You know what breaks my heart a little? Only 1% of the people who watch R&B vinyl are actually subscribed. 99 out of 100 of you keep coming back, vibing with the grooves, feeling the stories, reliving the voices that built soul itself, but you still haven't hit that button. Think about it. You've spent time here, maybe even rediscovered a song that hit you right in the chest. And yet, you're walking away before the next track drops. Subscribing costs nothing, not a cent, but it means you'll never miss the moments that remind you who you were when that record first played. R&B vinyl isn't just music, it's memory, it's heritage. It's the pulse that still beats under everything we love. Don't just listen from the sidelines. Be part of the 1% who keep the soul alive. Hit subscribe, stay, groove, and keep the record spinning with us.
Number 10, Born to Be Alive by Patrick Hernandez.
Yes, we were born.
A young Madonna auditioned to be his backup dancer and almost became his protege. History pivoted on that near miss. Hernandez originally wrote this as a rock song in 1973, shelved it when nobody cared, then rebuilt it as disco 5 years later when the world was ready. Synthesizers stab and swirl, the beat locks into that four on the floor inevitability, and his voice rides the groove with surprising urgency. It hit number 1 on the disco chart and climbed to 16 on the pop chart in 1979, selling nearly 2 million copies. By year's end, he'd collected 52 gold and platinum records from over 50 countries. A one-hit avalanche, the iconic phrase everyone remembers, came from his philosophy about living intensely versus merely existing. This was music that made nightclub crowds move as one body, strobe lights catching every synchronized motion. But producers nearly passed on the disco version entirely. Number 9, A Woman Needs Love, Just Like You Do by Ray Parker Jr.
Woman needs a love just like you do.
He wrote it as a direct response to his earlier hit From a Man's Perspective, this time letting the woman tell her side.
Get yourself into thinking that she don't.
Parker and Radio built the track with meticulous layers, bass lines that walk rather than run, keyboards that shimmer without overwhelming.
Feelings hurt because she needs it.
The groove settles into your chest and stays there while he sings about reciprocity and respect.
By the time poor Jack returned up to him.
It peaked at number 4 pop and topped the R&B chart for 2 weeks in 1981, becoming his first number 1 on soul charts.
Just like she will fool around.
The album reached number 1 R&B and 13 pop, proving the formula worked.
She can fool around just like you do.
Notice how the production stays warm despite the synthesizers.
Unless you give her all the loving she wants.
Real instruments anchor the electronics. This was sophisticated soul for adults, the kind you heard on Quiet Storm Radio when the city finally slowed down.
And Jill, a woman needs love just like you.
While Parker made this smooth and inviting, the next track brought raw intensity.
Old-fashioned, times have changed from yes.
Number 8, Lean on Me by Bill Withers. His childhood in West Virginia coal country inspired every word. Community as survival mechanism, not greeting card sentiment. Withers wrote it after moving to Los Angeles and realizing what he'd lost.
Have a problem that you'll understand.
Strings sweep and climb like rising hope, while the bass line refuses to let up. Members of the Watts 103rd Street Rhythm Band, creating that blend of gospel and soul. It hit number 1 on both pop and R&B charts in 1972, staying at the top for 3 weeks and becoming one of only 9 songs to reach number 1 via different artists when Club Nouveau covered it 15 years later. That simple piano riff became so iconic, it's basically shorthand for solidarity. Producers kept the arrangement spacious, letting the message breathe and land with full weight. This was music for moments when you needed reminding that you're not alone. Church basements, community centers, anywhere people gathered to survive together. From that communal embrace to something fascinatingly alien. Feeling this? Drop your favorite so far. Let's see if we're on the same page. Number 7, Pop Music by M. Robin Scott.
Pop, pop, pop music. Pop, pop, pop music.
Robin Scott recorded this in Switzerland and somehow convinced David Bowie to contribute hand claps. That level of weird was always the point.
Be a Molotov. I'm on the headline. Wanna be a gun.
The drum machine pounds with mechanical precision while synthesizers make noises that sounded like the future arriving early. Scott deadpans through the vocals like a bored DJ floating above the dance floor, giving absurdist instructions to an invisible crowd.
Wanna surround you. It's all around you.
It hit number 1 in the US in late 1979 and peaked at number 2 in the UK, essentially announcing that new wave had infiltrated the mainstream.
Activated. London, Paris, Munich, everybody talk about.
This was disco architecture built from cheaper, stranger materials.
Dance to the street. Anything you like. Do it in your car. In the middle of the night.
The sound of what came after Saturday Night Fever died. Watch what happens with the arrangement. It builds through sheer repetition, hooks that nag rather than bludgeon.
Try some, buy some, beat by boat. Talk about pop music.
This was music for the transition moment. Clubs where people wore skinny ties instead of bell bottoms. Strobe lights replaced by sharper angles.
Supermarket. Dig it in the fast lane. Listen to the count.
The video's robotic women and exaggerated turntable setup predicted MTV's entire aesthetic a full 2 years early.
Get down.
Number 6, Be Thankful for What You Got by William DeVaughn.
TV antennas in the back.
He was a government employee designing sewers when he spent $900 of his own money to record this.
Like diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster.
That context changes everything. The vibraphone shimmers over a groove so laid back it almost floats.
Diamond in the back.
The bass walks like it's got all day. And those strings add just enough sweetness without tipping into syrup. The famous line about diamond in the back Cadillacs became hip-hop shorthand for decades.
A car at all.
Sampled by NWA, Ludacris, Ice Cube, referenced in Parliament Funkadelic.
Against the white wall.
It peaked at number 4 pop and topped the R&B chart in 1974, selling nearly 2 million copies.
Antennas in the back.
Producers at Omega Sound in Philadelphia built it with MFSB session players, that signature Philly soul sophistication.
You may not have.
The message was revolutionary for its moment. You don't need material things to have worth. This was summer evening music, barbecues and front porches, the soundtrack to Black Pride without the anger, just calm assertion. From Philadelphia's smooth soul to Britain's Caribbean heat. Number 5, Caribbean Queen, No More Love on the Run by Billy Ocean. They released it as European Queen first and nobody cared. Changed one word and suddenly it was unstoppable.
And I get so excited just from her perfume.
Ocean had been struggling for years.
Just running my game, yeah.
A has-been in his mid-30s when producer Keith Diamond programmed that bass line clearly inspired by Billie Jean. The keyboards hiccup and stutter, the electro-disco strings ornament without overwhelming, and Ocean's voice rides that drum machine beat with surprising warmth. It entered the Hot 100 at 85 in August 1984, and 10 weeks later hit number 1, staying there for 2 weeks while winning him a Grammy. The video showed Ocean as a sharp-dressed romantic, the aesthetic that MTV was building its empire on. Notice how the production stays warm despite the technology. It's robotic, but never cold. This was music for fantasies about vacation romance and painted on jeans, exactly the kind of crossover appeal that made R&B a pop force. But if Ocean brought mainstream polish, this next group brought psychedelic consciousness. Number 4, Check Out Your Mind by The Impressions. Curtis Mayfield pushed his guitar through a wah-wah pedal, and suddenly Chicago soul went sideways into something unprecedented.
Just finding out the overlook.
This was 1970, his final album singing with the group before going solo to create Superfly, and you can hear him testing ideas that would explode later. The strings arrange themselves in sections like a movie score. Horns punch and scatter, and that spindly guitar sits way out front in the mix, making psychedelic statements. It peaked at number 3 R&B, proving audiences were ready for conscious funk that bent your perception. The title track opened the album with blistering intensity. Social commentary wrapped in groove, so infectious you barely notice the medicine going down.
Check out your mind.
Mayfield was injecting more black pride into every measure, material that made some Impressions members nervous about where he was heading. This was music for the moment when soul stopped being polite. Basement parties where the conversation got real and the groove got heavier. From that experimental edge to post-disco perfection.
They never found the missing link.
Number 3, Take Your Time. Do It Right by SOS Band. Mary Davis had one of those voices that could make even simple lyrics sound like revelations. Distinctive doesn't begin to cover it. Producer Sagidi Abdullah delivered this track as proof he could create a hit, and the label boss took the bet. Strings layer over a bass groove that refuses to rush. Glockenspiel adds sparkle, and that 4 on the floor beat keeps everything locked in disco's final evolution. It topped the R&B chart for 5 weeks and peaked at number 3 pop in 1980. Their debut single going platinum and announcing Atlanta as a soul music force. The arrangement builds in subtle waves, giving the vocal room to work its magic without shouting. Radio stations split it into 2 parts. The sung portions got the airplay, while the instrumental sections lived on the 12-inch 4 clubs. This was the moment when disco admitted it was actually funk. Dance floors, where sophistication and groove weren't opposites, but partners. But one ballad-proof funk pioneers could switch lanes entirely. Number 2, One in a Million, You by Larry Graham.
You convince me to give in.
The bass player who invented slap technique released a slow jam, and the label panicked. Wrong move, it became his biggest solo hit. Graham traded his signature funk aggression for tender vulnerability, letting his voice do what his bass usually handled.
Then I found a piece of happiness.
The production stays lush without drowning the intimacy, strings and keyboards creating a bed rather than a statement. It reached number 9 pop and topped the R&B chart for 2 weeks in 1980. Written by Sam Dees, and proving Graham's range extended far beyond what Sly and the Family Stone or Graham Central Station had shown. That smooth delivery made it an instant quiet storm staple, the kind of song that played during slow dances when the lights dimmed and the room temperature rose. Producers let the arrangement breathe, understanding that sometimes less actually delivers more emotional impact. This was late night dedication music. Car radios turned low while couples drove nowhere in particular. Everything we've covered leads to this. Number 1, A Change Is Gonna Come by Sam Cooke. He wrote it in a month after being arrested for demanding service at a Louisiana Holiday Inn.
It's been too
Anger and hope fighting for space in every line.
a long time coming.
Cooke gave arranger Renee Hall complete freedom, and Hall responded with what amounts to a symphony compressed into 3.5 minutes.
But he wind up.
Strings have their own movement, horns take theirs, timpani carries the bridge, each section building like a film score reaching for something massive.
Been a long time.
It was released as a B-side to Shake in December 1964, 11 days after Cooke was shot to death in circumstances that remain disputed.
I know I changed over time.
The song peaked at 31 pop and number 9 R&B, but its impact transcended charts. It became the musical companion to Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. Cooke only performed it live once because it scared him, the way it arrived fully formed, as if channeling something larger than himself. Bobby Womack said it sounded like death, and Cooke couldn't disagree.
It's been a long.
This was the sound of belief despite evidence, hope against history, the refusal to accept that change wouldn't come even when every sign said otherwise.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Oh, yeah.
Civil rights activists grabbed it immediately, and it's been covered and sampled ever since by everyone from Aretha to Beyonce.
It'll win. It'll win. It'll.
Each generation finding new meaning in those orchestral swells and that voice that believed before belief was reasonable.
Afraid to die.